Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of My Mom Sandy. We are your hosts. I am Josh Fasten, and the woman next to me has issues wearing gloves out because they make her hands sweaty, and then her hands are really sweaty, and then the gloves can't get off, but then she can't wait to get the gloves off, and then it's problematic. This is My Mom Sandy.
Yeah, okay. Boy, you're stretching this.
They get better.
You're having a hard time with these, aren't you?
They're good.
Yes, I did. I wore gloves to the grocery store last week, and I was amazed an hour later how sweaty my hands were. It was like, oh, it was just gross. I'm like, oh my God. It was like they were crying, like they wanted to get out. All the tears. And
They were locked up for too long.
They were locked up for too long, just like all of us. Now, how many days are we into our quarantine?
This is day 37.
Safer at home.
Day 37.
No, day 37.
This is day 74.
Day 929.
Day 154.
Seriously, what are we?
I think we're about 2 weeks, roughly.
Are we 2
little
weeks?
Over. I think a little over 2 weeks.
No, seriously? When did they give us the order? I thought it was just around the week before the 19th.
I feel like I stopped working the 15th.
That was probably right.
So that's what I'm saying. Is like I think a little over 2 weeks.
Well, today's the
31st.
Oh, it is today. Isn't
Little over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh is right. Josh is right. Anyway, so we're 2 weeks into this, and
God, it seems just like yesterday.
Just
that
like
we started.
it was yesterday.
Yes, I know.
And I gotta say, I'm having a really hard time with this now.
I know you are.
This is getting really bad, and it sucks. But I'm still doing my part to help flatten the curve and staying at home.
I know. I can't even get him to go to the grocery store for me.
Well, see, and that's the issue, right? Is that I feel like, excuse me,
Cough.
Oh, God,
Corona
you just like
cough.
yelled into the mic.
Corona
Jesus.
cough. Sorry.
I feel
It's okay, everybody. It's just me that is exposed to it, not you guys.
I feel like they've put all these restrictions on things that you can and cannot do and how to do them that it's, it forces everyone into this like panic state of, am I safe to go to there's all these people saying, is it safe to go to the grocery store? Is it safe to
Okay, so you and I listened. My Nancy neighbor, my Nancy ex neighbor,
your ex girlfriend,
my ex girlfriend, my ex neighbor Nancy. Actually,
do you realize how many times you said ex neighbor in the last 35 seconds?
6.
Like, well, my ex neighbor, the ex neighbor, my ex neighbor,
Nancy
neighbor, my ex neighbor,
Nancy neighbor, the ex.
Just go.
Okay. She sent us a video.
Say it one more time.
A video. I don't know. I can't remember what the name of the doctor was, but he was a doctor who works on the front lines in New York of the coronavirus. I mean, that's all he works with is coronavirus patients. So he did this whole thing where he basically talked about, how it's transmitted, how you get it, how you keep yourself safe, how you keep your family safe. What happens if somebody gets sick? And basically what he said was that it's transmitted when you touch an infected person or you touch something that an infected person has touched, and then you touch your face. So if you eliminate face touching and you continuously Purell your hands or wash your hands, he says 99% chance you will not get it. He said aerosol transmission is possible, but he said most aerosol transmission would have to be where you were in a closed up room with somebody who had it for 15 to 30 minutes, which, we don't really do that.
But I think that the issue is that there's all these things that come along with that, right? Is that it's like, okay, so, person goes to the grocery store, they take the basket, right? They're holding their basket. The basket has coronavirus on it.
All right. So I don't know what grocery store you've been to. I've only been to Ralph's, and they actually have somebody who is wiping down the carts.
What if he has it though?
Well, and then I also got, with my blue gloves on, I also got the wipe and will wipe off the handlebars as well. So I don't know if they're doing that at all grocery stores. It seems to me that they're supposed to be sterilizing frequently used surfaces like shopping carts and conveyor belts and
but then there's
ATM machine type things.
But then there's this thing though too. There was like a video I saw I think today or yesterday, and it was kind of like the same thing where this guy was saying, well, okay, you're going to go grocery shopping. Here's how to go grocery shopping. And he like cleaned off his whole fucking kitchen table and he put a piece of painter's tape down the middle. And then he had like multiple rags with like disinfectant sprayed on it. And then he was like, okay, this is going to be the clean side. This will be the dirty side. You come home from the store, you take your grocery bag.
Can the coronavirus jump from the
what if
dirty
it jumps
side
over
to the clean side?
The painter's tape?
I know, damn. I mean, is the painter tape magical? Does it keep it away? Because I'll just wrap my whole head in painter's tape.
Right, just cut out eyes and nose holes.
There you go.
And then he puts the bags down, and then he's like, okay, so the bags are here. And we have to look at, and it's so extreme. He's like, well, we have to look at all of this stuff as being contaminated. And he's like, so, and then everything he would take out, he would like do the full fucking wipe down.
But here's the thing.
Taking cereal, like the plastic cereal bag out of the box. He's like, well, the box has it, but this probably doesn't. Dumping bread. He's like, if you open up your bread package, don't touch the bread, put the bread in a bowl, cover the bowl. I'm just like, holy shit. And then it makes me not even want to go grocery shopping.
I know. I'm having a hard time getting you to go. As a matter of fact, I don't know when you're going to go, but
I'm just going to surprise you. I'm going to come home one day and it's going to have all my groceries.
Like, all your groceries. Be like, where the fuck's my stuff?
Where's my almond biscotti and my bombas?
Oh, I didn't go to Trader Joe's. I only went to Whole Foods. Where's my toilet paper and my paper towels? Oh, they don't have that there.
My friend Mark said he went to Trader Joe's today. He went to the one in the Riviera.
Yeah.
He said fully stocked.
Well,
he said fully stocked. He said
Nancy neighbor, ex-neighbor, and her husband went to the Trader Joe's over here.
What's her husband's name?
Bob.
Bob neighbor.
Bob neighbor.
Bob and neighbor.
Bob and Nancy neighbor.
Bob and Nancy neighbor.
Bob and Nancy ex-neighbor.
That's their new last name.
Yeah, they went yesterday, which was Sunday, and he didn't have any problems. He brought me some raspberries.
But they make you stand in line, though. They only let so many people into the shop.
I know. That's why I'm saying that's the way they're doing it, so that you can continue to socially distance from people.
So speaking of that, there was an article that came out in New York.
So wait, so let's get back to the groceries really quick. Are you going to like do all that with the groceries? I mean, we kind of have left stuff in the garage.
I don't know. I honestly, it
time.
gives me so much anxiety to think about having to not only buy groceries, but then come home and clean all my groceries.
Well, I actually took some like 409 and kind of went over the stuff that I've brought in the house. I just figure, I don't know if it really helps or if it doesn't help. You know, even like on the oatmeal, the cardboard box, you know.
I mean, if we're living in a world
I
where...
can't be that fearful.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like if we're living in a world where anything you bring in,
anything
you bring in from outside is potentially contaminated, like, then fuck, man, like...
Well, I mean, they asked the question yesterday about like your clothes, like when you go out.
Yeah, so that's a question, is what's the fucking difference between if you brush up against something that has the coronavirus on it, and now it's on your sweatpants, as opposed to it being on a basket or a shopping cart.
Okay, well, first of all, it lives different lengths of time on different materials. I don't know about like
because then the guy was saying don't take cloth bags to the grocery store right now.
But you can wash cloth bags.
Right, but he was like, just don't do it. So what's the
I
difference?
tell you, when I went last Wednesday, I didn't take any bags because I thought, okay, I'm just going to have them put my groceries in paper bags because supposedly it only lives on paper for 24 hours.
Right, but
plastic.
But what's the fucking difference between taking a cloth bag and then having it on your sweatpants and coming home and the guy's like, oh, you don't have to wash your clothes. Well, I'm sitting here being like, we should burn our clothes. And
really, we should make a little dressing room down there in the entryway.
I told you the other day,
we come in, we
went
take
shopping.
off our clothes.
Right, and I told you, I was like,
decontamination.
You were like, oh, I put all my clothes in the washer. And I'm like, did you take them off when you walked in? You're like, no, I took them off in my bedroom. And I'm like, no, you've gone too far.
I have to walk naked? Shall I leave a robe downstairs?
I don't want to see it. No, because you had to take a shower. Your body's contaminated.
That's true. I know. I do have to take a shower. So then I have to walk naked from the entryway all the way upstairs to my bedroom.
I'm not going to look.
Okay. I'm going to trust you.
Thank you.
I don't ever want to walk naked. That's why I could never be on Naked and Afraid. Naked is a yucky feeling
Like
to me.
even when you take showers, you're in a bathing suit.
I would rather be. I'd rather be in my schmata,
Ooh, a wet
dress,
schmata.
a red rag.
The city of New York. So this was something that I looked up.
Let's talk about the city of New York.
They came out with
They have a problem there. I'll tell you why. Tell you why I think that their issue is way worse than others.
I have 4% on my phone, so if you want me to get this story out, then
oh, bummer.
Okay.
Well, plug it in. You've got the thing plugged in right back there. It was hanging over the
it's
chair.
not there anymore. No, that goes to the computer. That's a separate
sorry.
thing.
All right, go ahead. Go.
No, what were you going to say?
Get the story.
You said
out.
New York had a problem.
Oh, I think that one of the reasons that it spreads so badly there is because they all take public transportation. Everybody's exposed to everybody on the subways and shit. Anyway, just a thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that there's that. I think there's also a lot of people in New York that don't own cars. So it's not
Of course
like
they don't.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, but it's not just public. But you have people walking everywhere. You have people in
Yes.
very close proximity with other
Yes.
people all the time.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
they actually put out the Department of Health in New York City put out like this guideline for safe sex practices during the pandemic.
Because that's the first thing on our mind right now is
I think that
sex.
they're trying to flatten the curve. You know,
Stay home and have sex.
and no, they're putting out guidelines for the do's and don'ts to not spread it.
Okay.
So, and what they had talked about, again, they talk about, kissing.
What do they say about kissing?
Well, don't kiss someone who's infected, right?
Okay, but
They recommend masturbation because you can't get, they say you cannot get COVID-19 from masturbation, right?
No? Are you sure?
6 feet apart. So your partner masturbates, you masturbate, you guys lock eyes.
Oh, I see.
Turn on some romantic music.
I get it now. Okay.
My heart will go on by Celine Dion.
You don't even really need a partner, but go ahead.
Oh, I guess not.
Go ahead.
And then they say they have a blurb because they have kind of bullet points, and they have one that says rimming, and I quote, rimming, mouth on anus might spread COVID-19. Virus in feces may enter your mouth. Take care during sex.
Well, that's pretty fucking gross.
They say stay at least 6 feet from other people and be sure not to lick anyone's anus in case you have a very long tongue.
Or a long dick. I mean, you can't have sex 6 feet away from somebody.
Fucking weird. New York's a weird place, huh?
I know. Who's doing that anyway?
Like somebody's.
I mean, no offense,
somebody's
but
bent over. They're like, too bad. We got to be 6 feet apart.
no offense, but that's gross. I'm not a rimmy or a rimmer.
You don't.
I don't partake in that thing, that butt stuff.
Rimming.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe it's a gay thing.
Maybe.
Well, I mean,
Let's not point the finger here.
Well, there's probably heterosexual couples that do it as well, but
Did you see? Speaking of licking things, did you see there was an article about the Taco Bell employee who he was taking the shells out of the boxes, and then he fucking just licked up and down all the shells.
and then he showed his positive for coronavirus test.
I didn't say that, but there's been a couple times in the last week or so where these things have come out. There was an Amazon worker who was delivering packages. And I guess he delivered a package and then fucking spit on the box and just wiped his hand all over it.
Oh, that's gross.
So
what's wrong with people?
there's a fucking lot wrong with
I
people.
mean, what is wrong?
I mean, it's the same thing.
What
with,
motivates somebody to do that? I don't get it.
But it's the same
am I
thing-
weird?
No, but it's the same
Are
thing.
you weird? Are we
Probably.
all weird?
Yeah. We're a little strange. We have a podcast.
A little weird.
Yeah.
Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
I mean, there's this thing I saw the other day where they closed all the beaches, right? All these
Right.
cities are so LA County closed all its beaches, its trails, all that stuff.
and you know what they close now? Farmers markets.
Well, they should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah, they Garcetti, apparently there was a
That
lot
was
of,
a loophole.
yeah, apparently there was a lot of people out at farmers markets yesterday and not practicing the social distancing, and so now he's canceled all of those.
But the issue, I know somebody had posted something on Facebook saying they closed all the beaches. So all the strands and everything were closed. And now all you have is, for example, in like Hermosa, now you just have everyone coming out, Saturday, Sunday when the weather's nice, and they're just riding their bike and their rollerblades and their roller skates and walking and running up and down Hermosa Avenue. Everyone's still going out. It's packed.
Aren't they on the Strand?
I think the Strand's closed.
Oh, so they just turned Hermosa Avenue into the Strand?
Yeah.
Good thing we don't live there.
No, but I mean, like, what? I mean, it's just such a, it's like everyone comes throughout this whole thing, right?
Well, I think it's weird too that you told me that bike path down the street.
The trail down the street is closed.
It's not a very long bike path. It's pretty wide. It's not heavily traveled, but it's like, if you want to go get exercise, I guess your option now is just, ride your bike or walk in the street. That's it.
I just wonder, I mean, we've played it pretty like conservatively about this whole thing, right? But I've never had, like, during this whole thing, everyone's like, stay home, stay the fuck home. Don't go outside. Don't go anywhere. And like, I'll go for like a run around like where we live.
Yes.
But I've never had that thing where I'm like, calling my friends and been like, let's meet at the beach. We'll go for a run. We'll go for a bike ride. Bring your bikes. Bring some White Claws. We'll drink, I just feel like it's so fucking irresponsible right now. And this thing is going to continue to go on until people just realize they got to stay home. This is not the time to go ride your bike at the beach,
Well, even Nancy Neighbor came over yesterday and we practiced social distancing. We sat on the balcony and talked outside as opposed to in the house. And
I was not happy that she was here.
And
they have all sorts of, she lives in Upland now. There's all sorts of epicenter. Epicenter.
The epicenter?
It's
epicenter?
The storm's eye.
It is not. They probably have less cases out there than we do here. They're less populated. We have 23 cases in Redondo Beach. Or we did. I don't know how many we have now.
Probably
we
double.
Probably have more.
46.
Yeah. Well, we have that assisted living facility that.
So they were saying that. So Trump just literally, I think days ago, just extended the social distancing.
Yesterday
till April 30th. And what's the guy's name? Fauci? Fossey?
Dr. Fossey.
Dr. Foxy.
No, Fossey.
Foxy.
I think it's Fauci.
Right, Foxey. Dr. Foxey.
Foxey. He's a little guy.
But he was saying...
It barely reaches the podium.
I know. It's a little man.
But he's a smart guy.
He was saying that millions of Americans are going to get this. And he's expecting 100 to 200,000 total U.S. deaths just in the United States.
Well, and they said that had we done nothing... had we done none of this that we're doing now, that we could have been looking at close to 2 to 3 million deaths. So, yeah. I mean, you know what? It's affecting everybody, every place, everywhere. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why some people get it, some people don't. There was a 34-year-old guy who died in L.A.
I think he was I think I saw that. I think he was a cancer survivor.
No, the black guy?
Oh, maybe not. There was another young guy who was like mid-30s who passed.
Yeah, no, this was a black man, and he I think he had asthma as a child, but he never really had any treatment for it. So, but then there was this, I just saw this guy tonight on Fox News that was being interviewed, and he was, he had it. I don't know where he was, but he thought he was going to die. And they started that malaria drug, chloroquine.
Chloroform?
I
think they put it on the tissue and put it over your nose and you pass out.
I don't know what it's called. But they started that on him with the Z-Pak, which is I think it's erythromycin or something.
It's like heavy antibiotics.
Yeah. And he improved 100% like in a day, and the guy's like, he's gonna live. I mean, before he said I thought I was drowning in my lungs. Am I hearing her? Is she having an asthma attack?
Sam?
No, the cat.
No, I don't hear it.
I say it's typical.
It is.
Yeah. It is podcast time.
Yeah, I mean, that I think is the issue, right? Is that it becomes that thing where we just don't know enough about it.
Well, what this doctor said yesterday too was that if you could have very mild symptoms, and we've all heard that.
Right. There's people that don't have any symptoms.
Yeah.
That's the coronavirus I want to get. I want to have like no symptoms for 5 days, and then it's gone, and then I can just like go out and touch everything because I'm never going to get it again.
But you don't even know that you had it.
Right.
So why would you go out and touch everything? You're going to be like, oh, I haven't had it.
It's like wearing a bulletproof jacket to a gun store that they shoot you at when you come through the door. I don't know.
Yeah, try that again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and that is a scary thing, right? Is that it? But the other thing, though, is that like, how much does this differ from? And I know what the answer. You know, I know the answer to this, but just hypothetically, right? Like, how much does this differ from when we have the normal flu, and older people or people that have different things going on, they get it, and they get really fucking sick. I mean, we have a ton of flu deaths every year, I feel like. And everyone's pushing but is it because we have a vaccine that people feel a little bit more like, oh, well, we have a vaccine,
Yes, probably that. And also probably the fact that this is probably more contagious.
Well, right. I think that's the scary part of it all, is how quickly this spread,
Well, come on. It's been around since November in China. Let's be real.
Yeah, but I feel like half the fucking universe has this.
They do.
I feel like there's fucking aliens on Mars that are like trying to deal with it.
Well, part of the problem is that China didn't do any travel restrictions. They knew they had it, and they let people. They had like the big Lunar New Year celebration.
Oh, did you see the thing about how China they put out a ban? They banned consumption of wild animals at all these markets, and then literally a week later it was like back on, but they're like, just don't tell anyone.
Oh, we'll never know.
This is so fucking so weird. And again, I mean, this goes back, and we talked about this, so I don't want to like rehash it, but I just think that if you are eating weird shit and cutting, there was like some video of like someone, I don't know how recent the video was, but they were in one of these like Chinese markets. It was fucking disgusting.
I know.
There was fucking tables with like parts of animals on these tables with like blood just like dripping onto the floor, and people and kids just like walking through the blood. And I was like, this is fucking disgusting. But at what point?
It's like a third world country.
Right. But at what point? Right. But at what point do you just be like, hey, we can't fucking do this anymore. We can't go to the Wuhan farmer's market and
expect not to get sick.
And expect not to get sick. And if so, hey, you know what? You want to keep doing it? Then you fucking close it off, and you put a big thing on the door, and you say, hey, you now live in this farmer's market.
Well, maybe if we held China responsible in some sort of way, they would change their ways.
I mean, but is that even?
I mean, if every
fucking country comes back to China and goes, hey, you owe us
millions, billions, trillions dollars. Well, they could just forgive some of the debt. I mean, we owe them a lot of money. All they have to do is forgive some of the debt. That would take care of it. But I'm sure that that's probably the situation with a lot of other countries as well. Everybody's economy's closed and shut down. Again, if China had handled this better, then maybe it wouldn't have spread. They let millions of people leave Wuhan for all over the world, over the place.
But I think not only had that had to have been handled better, and I guess this is like the thing, hindsight's 20/20, right? But I think that it had to be a situation where all these different countries immediately shut everything down. Like I talked to you about this the other day, which would have never happened, right? We would have never gone to that extreme.
Well, the problem, yeah. Well, the problem is that, especially like in Europe, now, because they're all members of the EU, the European Union. So basically you can travel from one country to another. Everybody's got open borders.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is like they should have shut everything down.
Yeah. For them to shut that down would have probably been more difficult than for, say, us to shut stuff down. We did. I mean, we probably would have been better had we done it 2 or 3 weeks earlier, as far as not letting people in from China. And then closing down to Europe as well.
That's what I was going to say. Is I don't think it was just the shut down to China.
No, because at that point it was already in Italy.
Right.
So
it was too late,
and it was bad in Italy. So yeah, it's
and the problem was that there was still people. I mean,
here's the problem, Josh, is when Trump said it to begin with. We're not letting anybody come in from China. oh, he's a racist.
Well, no, I know,
No,
but
it
that's
has
what I'm
nothing to do
saying
with
is
being
that,
a racist.
is that there's no way, and again, we talked about this, but there was no way that could have been handled in a way that it would have cut these numbers down so much that this would have not spread the way it did.
Well,
you know?
and I think what you said is true, is that it didn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if it was handled the way it was or handled any differently. There would still be fault found.
Right. There was always going to be fallout from it. If Trump had come out and said, hey, guess what? We're closing the United States to travel. If you live here, you can come home, and that's it. People would have lost their shit.
I know. And then when he came out and, and kind of downplayed the whole thing, which, to be honest with you, I almost feel like that's kind of, a politician's job is not to scare people, give you the facts, but then, also give you some hope and, and looking forward. This is what we're trying to do, and we need to look forward from here. The media's job is to scare the crap out of you, and that's what they've been doing. Every time you turn around, we've got the new figures, the new numbers.
Look,
how many cases, this is how many have died,
completely. But that's what I'm saying is there was no right way to handle this.
Oh, and even today, like I heard this news report, it was on one of our local LA stations, but they were talking about how in New York they were making like makeshift morgues so that they could dispose of the dead bodies. That's exactly how they said it, dead bodies. Why don't they say the deceased? I mean, it's, it almost sensationalizes it. It makes it, the dead bodies.
Right. I was telling,
It's like,
I think that the media has done a really bad job the way that, well, I was going to say something about the travel ban before we move away from that. But I mean, fuck, I had clients like before everything was on lockdown, I had clients at the salon that were like, oh yeah, we're getting ready to take this trip to Europe, and then we're not gonna let this little flu dictate our fucking, and I'm just like,
well, Nancy Neighbor went to Europe.
Yeah, she was infected.
No, they've been home for 14 days. They did but there was a gentleman that was in their group. They went to Austria. I think just Austria, maybe Germany. But there was a gentleman in their group that went to Spain afterwards. He actually did get the coronavirus.
Yeah,
but that was in Spain. But even so, it's it's like when the whole thing was coming down. I said to her, I said, "Aren't you a little scared?" Because they did like this Austrian ski trip type thing, and she goes, "No." She goes, "How many?" She goes, I don't think that there's a lot of Chinese people that are flying from Wuhan to Austria to go skiing in the winter.
But that's the thing, that's like such a small way to look at it, though. And that's what I think got us into trouble was that, these people aren't going to...
I know, where did it come from in Italy?
Right.
Who brought it to Italy?
Right. Damn, they were rim jobbing all over Italy.
What does that mean exactly?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's not go there.
But I think that's the issue, is that everyone downplayed it. The media has done a horrible job of making people feel secure and okay. And I think even just
I know. They sensationalize everything.
The way that they say it, right? Like, it's not, like when they talk about the flu, right?
2 million dead.
But it's not even, it's like, my mom Sandy tested positive for coronavirus, COVID-19. I mean, it's like, tested positive. I mean, fuck. The only, the time that when my mind immediately goes to when they talk about people testing positive for HIV, it's like they've built it up to where it's a death sentence. Testing positive for COVID is a fucking death sentence.
Yeah.
Well,
apparently it's not.
Well, no, but
that's for everybody.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The media has built.
My ear's kind of hurting a little, and I had that headache today. Just to let you know.
Is that COVID?
I don't know.
Ear infection?
I don't know. It's weird.
You want me to talk softer?
No, I just want you to know in case
you die in your sleep.
In my sleep.
Perfect, great.
You can tell him to check out the autopsy on the ear.
She was complaining of ear pain
and a slight headache.
Do you
remember this morning I told you my neck was all?
And then, do you want to put this headphone in?
Stiff. It kind of. I think it's from playing that game on my phone and having my head down.
Yeah, you need. They say that that's not a good.
I know you get a humpback.
Oof. Don't do that.
A hunchback.
Yeah, I don't want you
Is
to be.
it a humpback or a hunchback?
Well, a humpback is a whale. The hunchback is the
'Cause
guy
it
that
looks-
lived in Notre Dame.
But it looks like a hump, right?
Yeah.
So what do you call it?
But what does a hunch look like?
I don't know. I don't know what a hunch is.
Do you think they ever
A
called
hunch
it?
would be like, I have a hunch.
Do you think back in the day they ever called it like, oh look, that man has a small mountain on his back. Mountain back. Bareback.
Bareback's horses.
Oh.
It's really a bareback. No, bareback is what Putin does. He rides a horse with no shirt on.
That's what
Bareback.
That's what bareback is?
No, just kidding.
Okay.
Bareback would be no saddle on the horse.
Okay.
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 Okay. So where were we on this?
I was just saying, I thought the media I agree with you. The media has sensationalized this whole thing into, well, they tested positive and we have, it's even funny, right? They bring up the figures and it's like 300,000 cases, 2,000 deaths.
On top of that, I heard today that, they're saying that the news media is reporting that we now are number one in the number of deaths. And this guy on the radio was saying tonight, he goes, they had at least 40,000 deaths in China. Why is the media reporting? Why does the media do that? They don't report the news anymore. They report the news according to them, their opinion.
But you know what, though?
It's all their opinion.
Right,
they slant it the way they want to slant it.
But have you ever thought, though, right, that maybe some of this stuff is designed to keep people
on edge?
Right. To make them understand how, because if this thing is spreading so quick and if the news media was like, hey, it's really not that big of a deal, people wouldn't take this stay-at-home thing serious.
I know, but the problem is that there's a fine line between the seriousness of what's going on and how it's presented to where it creates more panic, more stress, more anxiety about the whole situation. I mean, there's times seriously when I'm just like, because I feel like a person with no purpose. I mean, my life's totally on hold, just like everyone else. I mean, there's things that, I was in the process of doing that, now they're not being done. And it's really weird. And it's like, there's certain days of the week, like I used to go grocery shopping on Fridays for my mom. So now it's like, I don't do that. I don't have any, I have like no markers for the week. Like, this is the day I have to do this and this is the day I have to do that because, besides paying bills, there's nothing else that has to be done.
Right. Well, that's like the other day when you were like, oh, can you cut my hair? I was like, why? Why does it matter?
Well, I know, but I do want my hair cut.
You'll get your hair cut.
But when you say, why don't we do it like a week before? It's like, well, why would we want to cram everything into the week before? But by the way, we could clean that closet downstairs while we have the time. I was thinking that.
I can't wait.
And store that china in there.
Okay.
So
just thought.
Yeah. If I ever get out of bed.
Yeah. You did a lot of sleeping today.
Did I?
Yeah. I feel like you woke up. I mean, your days are kind of a mix of sleep.
I haven't really felt that well. I told you I had a headache today and I've had one off and on and I'm kind of afraid to take my normal Aleve because it's like an ibuprofen product and oh God, if you have the coronavirus.
Do you think you have it?
No.
Do you want me to?
I don't think so. I hope not because, I'll probably end up.
Should I drop you off at the hospital?
I better make sure I have all the bills paid for the next 14 days because I know that's what Sam was saying. I spoke to Sam earlier tonight. She said, she goes, the problem is if you go to the hospital with coronavirus, she goes, you're like in isolation. Your family can't even be there with you. You can't see anybody. That's what they were saying about this gentleman, the 34-year-old who passed away. That some of his friends were saying, I'm not really looking at anything, Josh. You keep looking over there like I'm looking off into the distance.
Oh no, I keep hearing the cat sounds like they're scratching something. So I keep looking to see if I can see it.
I wonder if they are. Anyway, the friend of his was saying that the sad part was that he died alone. That he didn't have anybody there with him because he had the COVID. So that's pretty, it's not good.
Yeah. I mean, I think exactly what you were just saying, right, is that this is, and we talked about this a little bit last week too, but this has interrupted and stopped so many things. I had a schedule. I would get up on Monday morning or Tuesday morning and I would go, I'd go to Whole Foods or I'd go to Trader Joe's. Sometimes I'd go to Target.
And I'm still waiting for you to do that.
And it was great because there would be no one there. It was easy to get in, easy to get out.
I know. It's like the other day you're like, so what do you think? Like if I go to the grocery store on the weekend or should I go on Monday?
Trying to make the plan. Like, do you hit it on a Sunday? Because everyone else is going, oh, we don't want to go on the weekend. Or is it even more busy? Or do you hit it on a Monday? Or does everyone who didn't go on Sunday thinking, well, I won't go Sunday, I'll go Monday. So then you better off going on Tuesday.
And then, my thought to you was the Monday, unless they get a truck, they may be sold out.
Everything might be gone. Yeah. So then you don't go on Monday.
So you go Tuesday, which means Tuesday tomorrow morning you're going to the grocery store, right?
I don't know. It's scary times we're living in.
Well, I'm going to have to go to Ralph's on either Wednesday or Thursday, or maybe both.
You're going to go both days.
I went both days last week.
Well, that was because they told you when paper products were coming in, but you don't need more paper products.
I do need them from my mom's house.
You got to knock that shit off.
Okay, my responsibility is to shop for my mother and her household. And the problem is that when you go to the grocery store now, and I was lucky enough last Thursday to find toilet paper, but you're only allowed to buy one.
Wait, question for you. I think you talked about that maybe last week.
No, I couldn't have.
Oh no, it's impossible. Question.
We talked about it.
Yeah. Sorry, we've been talking so much like that.
I know. It's hard.
Is it a lot to ask for my cousin Brian's dad, my uncle, your brother, to go maybe do some grocery shopping for grandma? Is that too much to ask? Hey, my cousin Brian, I know you're listening. Yeah? Maybe you can get your dad to help out a little bit here, bud. Maybe you can have him pull some strings and go into some of those elderly stores, just so we're not putting the whole family at risk. I mean, let's put the whole family at risk rather than just one person.
Let's put the whole family at risk. Yeah, the only problem with that is that he has to drive quite a ways to get the groceries.
But it's his mom.
I mean,
he loves her, right? My cousin Brian. He loves.
On top of that, I shudder to think that, I don't know. I don't mean to be unkind to my brother, but I feel like his wife does a lot of stuff for him that, that a single man would probably know how to do for himself.
So you think she's doing all the shopping? He's not.
Well, they probably both go shopping together. That's what I would think.
That's not safe. That's stupid.
Why? That's what Nancy and Bob do.
Bad idea, because then you both get it.
So how do you decide who goes today and
paper, rock, scissors, baby?
Who goes next time?
Here's what I'm proposing.
And would you just keep the same person as the grocery store person the entire time?
So what they said is you shop for 2 weeks. So if you go, you buy. So you don't do this weekly grocery shopping anymore. Times have changed, Sandy. You go.
Well,
you get enough stuff for 2 weeks.
If I could have gotten toilet paper, paper towels, and Kleenex from my mother's house last week,
I bought you a 4-pack of Kleenex specifically for your mom's house.
All right. Okay. That's only one of those 3 products.
Okay, so you don't need to get that anymore. And then my cousin Brian, he's going to talk to his dad, right?
Yeah, like his dad has some pull at some grocery stores. He's going to be able to walk in and
he's going to do the same thing that you're going to do. He's going to get
then he's going to drive an hour and a half to come up here?
There's no one on the freeway. It's going to take him an hour. Where's he coming from? San Diego? Orange County? Huntington?
Orange County.
Newport? Irvine?
Orange County.
Bolsa Chica?
I don't know.
My cousin Brian, put the call in, bud. Okay? Help us out. Okay? If my mom's going to be at risk, so is your dad. Okay? So let's do it.
You might as well get both of us sick and end up in the hospital rather than just one of us.
She went last week. So my cousin Brian, you call your dad. I'm not going to use his name, and you send him out to the store for this week, and he's going to get some stuff for the fam. He's going to pick you guys up some gluten-free goodies, and then he's going to get some stuff for grandma, for Grammy. Okay, Brian, don't let Grammy down. Okay, buddy, you do this for us. You want us to keep giving you these fucking shout outs. You're going to do this.
All right.
Be a fucking team player.
He's just kidding, Brian.
I'm not.
Don't ask your father.
Ask your father.
That's ridiculous.
I swear I'm going to send you a follow-up. Why?
Because seriously, like he's going to go out and buy paper towels and toilet paper and drive an hour and a half to come deliver them?
Not just that, but she needs probably fucking some red onions and some red potatoes and some fucking
This week she doesn't.
Right,
because I bought all that crap last week.
I know, but he can go stock up on it. Look, I don't want to fight with you.
I'm going to the grocery store, so
my cousin
deal
Brian,
with it. I'll wear my mask and my disposable gloves.
My cousin Brian,
my hands will sweat. They'll be like crying hands, but it's okay.
I just want to let you know.
And I won't touch my face ever the fuck again.
If my mom gets COVID,
ever,
I'm going to get it and I'm bringing it to your whole family. Okay? Because my cousin Brian's dad is not helping out. So you put a call in, buddy. Okay?
You know, his health is at risk as well.
Everybody's health is at risk.
I know, but he's a year older than me and he also has underlying health issues.
Then you got to send the wife. I don't want to use anyone's name except for my cousin Brian. That's why I'm talking in code.
Code.
But again, I'm going to say it one more time.
Said the wife.
The wife. I'm going to say this again. Auntie.
She'd be your aunt.
I'm going to say, Brian, don't let Grammy down.
Oh, boy.
She needs her toilet paper, okay, bud? So put a call in. Put a fucking call in.
Cottonelle wipes as well.
She wants some Cottonelle wipes. She wants those wet butt wipes, okay? It gets a little stinky down there, so she got to keep it clean.
Josh.
Help her out, buddy.
Josh. So have some respect.
I'm having respect.
For your grandmother.
We got tons of wipes here. Help her out.
We don't have tons of wipes here. You know, right now we're in lockdown till the end of April. You know, we were kind of prepared for a couple weeks, but you know, we're not prepared for 6 weeks of, you know.
And I remember when I left the salon, like my last day, I was like looking at all my stuff. I'm like, what am I gonna need?
I know. What if like I need shampoo or something? Thank God I had Sam bring me shampoo from up north. She brought me some Kerastase.
I mean, I think that in this time, I think it's probably okay if you ran out of Kerastase and you needed some shit from Target for the next couple months. I think you'd be okay.
From Target?
Where else are you going to go? Salons are closed.
You couldn't ask your salon gal to sell you some product from the salon?
Social distancing.
Okay.
6 feet. Was she going to toss it to me?
No, you're going to walk in.
It's not open.
She's going to meet you there. She's going to unlock the door.
So she's going to put herself at risk and myself at risk.
Herself at risk. She's going to open the door
for your shampoo
to an empty salon.
It's ridiculous.
And then she's going to, they had something on Instagram that they were doing with products. You could order Orbe.
Yeah, I think you can order. I think everybody's doing online stuff. It's all delivery. Everyone can get what they need online. And look, most businesses right now are having some sort of sale.
But the problem is when it gets delivered, has the Amazon driver spit and rubbed it in on the box? Yeah. Or what?
Yeah.
What do you do? Don't you have a box sitting in the garage in quarantine right now?
I've got a thing of granola from Amazon, and I've got a box of this BioSteel hydration powder that I use for workouts and stuff. Helps promote a healthy immune system, and it hydrates you. My cousin Brian, you should get all that if you work doing the workouts. BioSteel.
So that's in a box, a cardboard box.
One's in a box and one's in like a bag.
Oh, the bag could live for longer.
That's my granola.
And is the granola in a bag as well? A bag inside the bag?
I don't know. I haven't touched it. I literally brought it in with 2 fingers and set it down, and then I washed my hands like I was going into surgery.
Yeah.
Scalpel.
I know, Josh. We might kill each other before. I did hear too that that's a real issue right now. That
killing each other.
People are getting on each other's nerves. People who are spending a lot of time together and they're not used to it. Family members. Rocky marriages that were already not so great.
LA's been like smog free for like the last 3 weeks. It's like the clearest skies we've ever had.
Well, I went out tonight to drive my car around because I need to charge the battery.
Your electric car?
No, it's not an electric car. It's an old car. But anyway, there's like nobody on the streets. Like normally I just drive down like Aviation to Manhattan Beach Boulevard and then up Inglewood. And I just do the circle like 2 or 3 times. I mean, I could have done that circle like 6 times. There was like no fucking traffic. It was like heavenly.
You should have jumped on the freeway. I told you. I was like, what did I say the other night? I was like, why don't we just get in my car and just go?
Just go.
Thelma and Louisa.
I know, but where the fuck do we go?
Where do we go? I know you said that.
It's everywhere. That's the problem. If there was some place, like I just talked to Uncle Mike last night in New Zealand, and they're locking down now too. So I think through the end of April, everything there is closed. So
yeah, I mean, I think realistically, I think that we're not going to see any sort, and this is, I think, the earliest. I don't think we're going to see any sort of like normalcy come back until the beginning of June, and I think that's the absolute earliest. I think this could easily go on well into the fall, because we don't start getting that hot weather until sometimes end of July, but realistically like late August, early September.
No.
Yeah.
No, we'll get hot. At the beach we may have overcast, but inland they get heat. What was that? Whipping out the
chapstick.
The chapstick?
My lips are really dry.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, I think you're wrong. We'll have heat. See, that's the thing with in New Zealand. See, they're headed into winter now. Apparently, it circulates more in the winter months. I mean, the flu. They say that the heat of the summer and
yeah. I mean, I read something today. It said to be drinking warm beverages. Because it helps if you do have COVID and it's in your throat, it's going to help get rid of it before it goes down into your lungs.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
I read it today. Here, do you want some tea?
There's nothing in there. So no. I don't think I want that. It's just two. Is that your chai tea?
No, this was
Why 2 tea bags?
I like more flavor.
Yeah.
This is a licorice mint. Very good. Very nice.
Would that be like black licorice or red licorice?
Like strawberry mint? Mint cherry?
Mint cherry? Or mid whatever?
No, I think it's like
mint licorice?
No, I think it's like an anise mint.
What are you talking about?
Isn't that the anise? Anise? What is it?
Anise.
Anise, that's what it is. Well, and there you have it, everyone. We brought this full circle all the way back to rim jobs. And that's what we do here on My Mom Sandy. If you guys need to get a hold of us, you guys can check us out on Instagram at My Mom Sandy Podcast. And please send us an email because we are really bored. MyMomSandyPodcast@gmail.com.
I keep threatening that one of these episodes we won't mention coronavirus, but hey, this is what's going on.
Big in the news.
There's nothing else going on.
If you guys could promise to tell a friend right now during all this, because I know you guys don't have much to do.
No, God. I know. I even suggested to my brother, we'll see if he does it in New Zealand. I said, during this time of shutdown, you should start catching up on your My Mom Sandy's.
And we know Uncle Mike.
I know.
We can see,
Mike, if you're doing it. And if you're not doing it, then you're not hearing us.
You're not hearing us, yeah.
But we'll still be able to see.
We still know Uncle Mike.
We'll be able to know if you're tuning in from New Zealand.
I also want to let everyone know, I still do not know what my cousin Brian does for work, but I do have a message for him. Don't be selfish, okay? Help us out. Help
Grammy.
Help Grammy, okay?
Actually, you're actually more like you're helping your Aunt Sandy.
Help Aunt Sandy, who in turn is going to help Grammy, okay? You don't want Grammy to hate you, okay, my cousin Brian? And if you need, you call your sister, bud. She can help out too, okay?
Really, it's always good to have 2 kids.
It's a family affair, everyone. We have a new episode every Tuesday, unless we get it done early and then we put it up.
Or unless we get coronavirus and we're sick, but then we'll just post something on Instagram so you'll know.
Could you imagine us having to record a podcast, me downstairs and you upstairs? Because you have it or I have it?
How can we do that?
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, that is what they say, that if somebody in your household has it, that person needs to isolate.
No, well, that's what
with a mask.
That's what people have been saying for fucking weeks. Oh, and here's the big message. Stay the fuck at home. Stop going outside. Stop being fucking selfish. This is about all of us. We are all in this together. Don't be the person.
I know. I still haven't gotten my fucking fish and chips from Der Wiener Schnitzel.
I don't think it's Der Wiener Schnitzel. I think that's old. I think it's just I think
Wiener
they dropped the D.
Now?
The D
they got
apostrophe.
rid of the der?
Yeah. Oh, was it der or was it D
der.
apostrophe?
No, it's DER.
Der Wiener Schnitzel.
Yeah, it's German.
Man.
Where have you been?
What a joke.
What a joke. That's old school, baby.
And I saw on TV tonight there's a 24-inch pizza from Pizza Hut.
24 inches of pizza.
Fucking 2 feet of pizza.
Oh my God, I'd probably die.
And you can get cheese or pepperoni. In my head, I was like, oh, well, this would be perfect. We could do like half with no cheese. Because I think the crust at Pizza Hut is vegan.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you could do half with no cheese. And then half.
Wait, 24 inches, wait.
Yeah, 2 feet.
You're
What, is this not 2 feet?
No. Your hands are spread out like 6 feet, okay?
Like
2 feet is like this, okay?
I think it's more than that. That's like a foot. A little bit more. A little bit more. There you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
like this.
And so I was like, oh, well, we could do one side with just veggies, and then the other side could be for you. I'm like, we could fucking eat pizza for the next fucking 2 weeks with that.
Yeah, but it still has a shelf life. I mean, you know.
If you put it in the fridge, though, does it?
Well, if you just have vegetables, yeah, they will. They'll get
Icky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you could really only eat it for maybe 3 days.
3 to 5.
I mean, they say leftovers, like 3 to 4 days on leftovers in general. If you have a sensitive stomach, I would suggest no more than 3.
Don't do it, everyone. Don't be a hero.
So yeah, I don't think we need 2 feet worth of pizza.
All right. So everyone, stay the fuck home. This is your time to shine. Look out for each other. Be there for each other.
Play games.
Listen to this podcast.
I know we got rid of all of our board games, didn't we?
We have ways to play games. I've got games. Remember I was going to buy that thing? I don't want to say it because
Oh, I know.
I was going to surprise you with that thing.
I know we have a thing.
We don't want to say
we
it.
have a thing in the brewing
Yeah,
that
we're
we're
brewing a thing right
we're
now.
brewing a thing right now. We're doing preparation
Yeah.
for future
Yeah.
podcasts.
And if this company is listening, do the right thing.
do the right
Do
thing.
the right thing.
You know you want it.
Yeah, still don't know what my cousin Brian does. You guys stay the fuck home. That includes you, cousin Brian. Don't be a hero. But do send your dad to get stuff for
Oh
Granny.
yeah, don't be a hero, but send your father.
Send your father.
The elderly one.
Elderly shopping.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have elderly shopping down in
No, they do, but still, you know. I mean, you don't like it when I go. That's when I go.
Right.
I go to elderly shopping.
Right. I feel like I feel like what I should start doing is putting on like a suit and follow you around like I'm like your Secret Service agent, you know? If someone comes too
I
close,
know.
excuse me,
Do-
ma'am.
no,
Ma'am,
do-
excuse
no,
me, you
do
have the
they
back
have-
office.
do they-
Sir, excuse me,
Do
sir.
we know, do they have early shopping hours at Trader Joe's?
I think they do,
Because
but
maybe we could like go together to Trader Joe's.
they're not going to let me in with you.
Well, that's why I'm asking. Do they have early hours? They don't open till 9 o'clock, so.
I don't know.
I mean, I could hit fucking Ralph's and Trader Joe's all the same day.
You hero. You here. See my
Me
cousin
with my
Brian?
mask. I'll tell you, I got my mask is in the car. In the heat of the car, it's paper. And I know that all those
Disinfected.
all those past coronavirus germs, dead. I can wear it again. It's been a week since I had it on.
And my cousin Brian,
Perfect.
If your dad, when
It's
your
a
dad goes
reusable.
out to get stuff for Grammy, we have some gloves and mask he can borrow.
Well, I don't,
Actually, we don't want it back. He can keep it.
no, I don't.
The gloves actually won't fit him.
No. Masks are tough.
Tell him to use a bandana or a Band-Aid.
A bandana.
Small little Band-Aid.
A bandana. You look like a fucking gang member. You better wear the right color.
Look at you dropping those F-bombs here. Say it again. Give me that.
You're the fucking gang member.
Yeah,
the
bang- a bang ganger.
The bang ganger.
Bang gangers.
Okay, we should sign off because we don't want to bore people
Don't
with
bore
our
people.
antics,
All right.
our craziness. We're getting a little crazy in this 14-day.
It's getting bad. It's over 14 days.
Yeah, I won't tell you what happened last night, but
It's a secret.
it's a
We might
secret.
post it. It's possible.
No, you're not going to post
It's
it.
a scene from our music video. Anyway, everyone, you guys have a good week. Stay safe out there. Stay the fuck home, please. And we'll see you guys. We'll talk to you guys next Tuesday.
Yes, and you know what I have to say about that? All right, very good. I think I better pee before we start this, just in case I laugh.